just waiting for Bowie. Yeah. Oh, so that makes sense. It's just kind of like not warranted.
Yeah.
Are you coming that way? Where should we sit?
Here. I would recommend sitting up there because that's the only place you can put your stand.
Yeah, that's where the two debaters come down from. Also, is it okay if I sit in here? I just am on my computer.
Speech office fine with everyone?
Yeah, I'm good for the code whenever.
Tell me when you're moving. Capital T, capital N, 9, capital M, lowercase c, 6.
I need you sitting and I was getting a call.
Yeah, no problem. Capital T, capital N, 9, capital M, lowercase c, 6. The world's fundamental phenomenological existence precedes essence of rigorous essence of all definitions. As thing occurs first being subsparks, first man counts account existence to epistemology, being so experimental, top elements of apprehension essence, rather interaction with the world in particularly unique ways between only being subject to being essence, fictionality, substitute find duration, subject and word around the my students, boss, my place, sense, my ability, exception, there's no universe less my character, rational, religious part of the whole creative force, temporality, things are fundamentally exposed, existence, plan that, effect of subjectivity, being still is possible, this is subject change over time within the time, body, knowledge, existence, internationality, beings, and planes, and times of pair, by the clear for those in 17. Human agency and minds, humanity, Christ, first, minds, play, life, zone, 17, was the and goes from others, human beings constantly attracted towards other lands, predilections complete about their own choose qualities that are likely taken on by the ones that don't accept themselves as limited by the violent or color breed others, authenticity only achieve when own and developed by for others, the way in which subject internalized negative stereotypes propagate by colonizing press, putting products when they said authenticity of the practice of one of the identified abilities, and its existence is docile and being the world as considered real nature, right? Ethics, species, death towards real thing. Docile and being existing worlds, one of the things being human is fixed, immersive, and for the logic capable of telling meaning being the world is this phenomenon based on existential identity, world complete, when beings are characterized uniqueness and skills as possibilities, the energy society embrace individuals to demonstrate themselves when being realized that are destined for concern, knowing be the massive being but from differentiality, being the world's being another power, make consists of representatives, rise doctrines of accountability, but make judgment for the space ahead and self, which stated supreme autonomy, responsibility, being the most specific self to score, talking losses, correlation for being in the talk of youth, passwords, long class, illusion, echo chamber, bogus interaction, no disability, communicate, speech, general, beer, longer, because monology, control, and science, solidify, with clinical being is being towards death, and so Dawson is told the most time trade for being, and realism has metaphysical thought of the and frames being a standard observed utility, motive, authentic, being just like infinite balance, the thing, process, conditioning, being through material, visual process, door 13. And dreaming Zealand, very common, cold, conservation, globalization, science, real, this is, rolling with glories, and metaphysical, the notes of very actually body economy, market rationality, cost expenses, this is only certain market. The absolute meaning of values only one meaning appears in human domination, but being being turned second subject to triangles and brain and do the reserve between capital was that between reserves capability targets well then like recognize that culture value organization trading expenses history reinforces that state particular context creating form of power and the native liberals based on knowledge framing and human knowledge for access to different material rationality power and information and education works under our learning students and reserve educators with authority orientation foster excellence students I love educators 2016 online education called the source of the idea of educative excellence not only excellence students also recognize weird and working product excellence cultivating human essence and knowledge creation and breathing on the world university community children students and those task line proposed on political policy career revolution transformation science humanity recipients for from full to individuals let's stand consistency being towards docile I defend the United States let's substantially reduce the military presence in West Asian military region as a return to being in the world military presence has saturated around the globe occupied showing its authenticity creating humanity stand reserve of resources of the wars and some deadly wars for war you have traditional understanding wars and truly had the keys and teas and become justification and wars other brings in culture wars and only around the best being built up items return to docile industrial 5 tech was the gaps in subject not becoming only the same reserve building the outside war which is that truth with everything that same reserve of regional and possibly going to whoever can go internally and something no longer relation of words concern beings peace and divine subject regards war being sort of soldier worker target war able to take the change nature being a question being as deal with inclusion team eligibility and maximum spread of industry studying the education demonstration custody because of quality of communication without savings the question being economic coast and our president represents especially Americans as to the being this American world only exists as such reality becomes a justification to avoid a conversation of reality being Mr. Job from one reason confederate job from being Mr. What? Technological harm living the course beings of false one for the more available beings become more being relative to the line series or available as in the truth America's place where being has the John is America's resident race laws and progeny facts of influencers being filled with laws being one percent of jobs being targeted states like control the man memory being terrified the course of the being distinct from American reality country being the contrary being kind of close from being fulfilling mechanism of war and technology and following the social rules in the context being especially the maturity expression of expression the rules that fosters that information Johnson players come in the story something about the idea they may be sure over the games not the best but rather not think about theirs or choose for nothing is a parasite and still playing world when it's playing game confirm one that any creative value potentially exists games of passion energy drive will power but it's such energy and offsprings of the most intentional way most playable period of information but the most priority working majors moving forward and creating something which has passing united users of passing sending games service to the fashion man games high rights for just having individuals that are creating games to metaphors my life and calculate thoughts of form and framing for necklace revealing can be 14 we began to be the action of cause effects consequences and superficiality sign of effects of users impacts we focus intentionation of action lights being four possibilities management being about potentiality doing the fun thing about bringing like visualization being consummate and in framing shows the root cause of Pressure Robinson 20 subculture difference 13 being laws the naturalized the right based subjects marks people's disposal stable subject genocide don't how that comes to doing not being these are just like it was inherently killed off the being murdered and institutional banning decisions paper the root cause of military managerialism blowout employment social movements are necessary in the academic space development 22 neutrality targets solution military managerialism and design could be the majority of the create alternative realities project involved is elements anti-military and necessarily opposed U.S. military during conflict because in the Civil War there's nothing to prevent direct and trigger nuclear expansions and there are no academic programs in the core anti-military there are no departments anti-military studies anybody in which the world realism not specified design and strategic intervention against military managerialism the university failed to eliminate intervention in Vietnam president decisions of duration these movements are hostile and quasi-realism restoration and practical rationalism and morality exists the question is how we can best learn and understand the question that is hush in all schools we have to receive mortality all requires a virtual push of more knowledge to be care cultivate your own intuition to realize just those for 3 until modern times of belief is actually the value of the threshold not stimulate the financial goals of the maps of which they move being moved from fractal market and reach on it here trying to get in the current other indicator west side of judgments are rationalized of US law and recent fractal balance down to this because it cannot prove that nothing is a picture or say nothing is a all the human eyes of provided nothing you value imagine you proper color and Cartesian dualism is false my satanic realization of whole human being or body despite a possible contradiction the fact that if I know the values of objects prior to changing in the world to the access nature you know certain world by being looking rather this face and being having only describe my thing because you that world because you're not for rather feel fluent in all the subconscious and visual mental problems reference the life of placing other such running duals and bodies contract with one's own possible reflection knowledge and fictionalism is true enough to let in the homeless person guard it's false close to pipe true even though homeless is this person that puts the immediate eyes in their operator it's a true value discussing opportunities as well as things and all things are values and actions have an obligation means that they have the best reason all reasons for action are valid comparative and amazing illustrative reasons sufficient strength requires the only reason to be actual compared reasons no valid justification exists all these are sufficient comparison other equally valid justification as you have to do we have sufficient reason to do you have to take the actions be developed to true by mutually defensible reasons to be act equally reasons not to one use to produce and build it is justification short reason large time march by the children examining the data the ground to be theory of the first theory always everything architectural norms the also to round 55 instead of hiding through what's really good base you value theory and not be small even factually speech response creates a lot of about reduce on ourselves be cycle chain chaos and noise and after active species heading from all to the round first so the noise being blue with the practice and try to use round 3 yes our guys on often counter term defense or impact and impact policy and should equal to the layer alleged being multiple shells and all this piece of education sometimes being used for multiple shells with no legal thing because you something agency time to realize that has an equal amount of time presenting argument about ability win on it cut out the last Gregory card good for loss
okay cross time starting now what's the difference between the abstract description of ontics and the sort of ontology
sure our argument is that ontics are wait what do you mean ontics versus ontology ontic are for example specific movements are arguments that are reorientation ontology as a whole as prerequisites to material solutions. For example, you can take, for example, specific movements, arguments that our entire mindset shift, i.e. our return to Dasein, is a necessary prerequisite to any sort of material solution in the first place. Absent an interrogation of our mindset, i.e. if our mindset is based on trying to control and frame the world,
Makes sense.
then it means that any sort of action
I
will
guess,
always reduce the problems that
Can you explain the 5-point? How does phenomenology create like motivational actions or obligations or agents?
Yes, so McGregor evidence indicates that insofar as existentialism is true, there are two reasons why we relate and care for the other. One is that the other is how we create our own existential character, i.e. through our interactions with the world and our interrelationality with the world is how we create meaning with ourselves. And second is that when we create our existential projects, the way that we continue our existential projects is by instilling with other people and allowing other people to care for our existential projects, since that a care and respect for other is something that is definitionally part of our.
Any independent reasons to affirm absent the framework?
No ambiguities.
Okay. And then, I guess, the AF withdrawals military presence. If I prove that action is bad, does it still negate? Or if I prove it's bad under your framework?
If you prove, I don't see like.
Or the AF fiats the removal of presence from
Yes, the AF,
station.
part of the AF advocacy is that we defend that military presence is
Okay, what's the other part?
Well, we're arguing is that the AF is a reduction of presence, but as part of a broader mindset shift of return to Dasein. I guess the point you have to contextualize what Dasein is, i.e. it's not just a reduction of presence, but the question of reconceptualization of the world as not something that's calculation scientific,
How does
or
the
not
AF
control it, rather the question of we're interrelation in the world and we're connected to the world around us.
Okay, how does the AF, like, how do people, or how can the AF confirm that people will just shift out of this mindset once they've shifted into it to like pursue other things?
Well, we believe the AF is a good idea, the AF advocacy says that that is good, and then the judge believes that is a good idea, then you go to AF.
Okay, sure. I guess the Myasticus evidence, Cartesian dualism, what's the implication?
It depends on what the YNC reads, but it's a reason as to why we are connected to the world around us. The mind and body are not separate from one another, rather fundamentally interconnected. The Myastic warrant in the card is that the brain cannot be separated from the body, because in order for the brain to actually experience and join the world, first we must be in the world, i.e. there's to first be a body in the world that's connected to the world. So the brain and body are not fundamentally separate things, but are connected with one another.
The last argument, the all statements are evaluations of action, like if the resolution is true, I demonstrate that ethical reasons have for equal reasons not to. Like, can you explain the implication of this?
Yeah, it's a question of what ought means sufficient reason, i.e. we can take a reason if it is equal to all other reasons or if it's better than other reasons. So for example, if you read something like Skep that says that all reasons are equally invalid, that means we have a sufficient reason to think the affirmative because it means that all reasons are equal. There's a sufficient reason to be yeah.
Okay, sure. And then only card you cut is the last one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Politics. Okay. That's 45 seconds. Sending it. Orders for the case. Sorting on case. So like the bottom stuff like publications. And then framework contention. Can I put garbage now?
Yeah.
No worries. Okay. Let me know when everyone's in the block.
I'm good.
Cool. Brett, good?
Yeah.
Okay.
interpretation of the affirmative is the send a 1AC document, not 30 minutes before the right violation of document, plus he said one of the ones in their wiki, and again, a class absence between each week, scars and spurs, skirts, debates, chief sauce, and lyrics, especially chooses after infinite prep document is spent, the wiki asks is why it makes a ton of throwaway asks, intentionally make ground split, making multitude of positions, all the big points to search, when you recognize time, awesome theory, anything else, for itinerary, by mating theory, and no base life, when it's logical, being great times, 90 DP, when it's discouraged, good, which always bills in the multiple grounds. He's competing interpretation, was like a better multiple interpreters, getting comes to obviously, if it's fair, points of reasonability, versus arbitrary judgment, which always all the sort of arguments about obligation, because it invites arbitrary and unfair evaluation, the critique, reject the critique, or reject Heidegger's run now, not to which means his critique of tech, it's a thought, it's anti-Semitic politics, is presenting subjects of the offense, rejecting anti-Semitism as a moral imperative, 2014. Darwinian ideas suggestion for people is inherently spiritual, as a result of society philosophy, and neo-Romanist fantasies and psychology for humanists, or the indicators and extremity. Heidegger's critique of technology and instrumental reasons are inextricable from spiritual anti-Semitism, 117. Heidegger views on the Holocaust as characterized by repression, and an Heidegger characterized that the Holocaust is defeated. These problem themselves as a modern anti-Semitic, also character. Heidegger's critique of technology, according to the affirmative reasoning and anti-socialism, had nothing to do with the murderous and primitive nature of the society, brought about the nerves and Jews and village. Heidegger's philosophy is inherently anti-Semitic, recent developments and adverse proof. Ottoman 14. Scholars asking whether the anti-Semitic tendency for deeper than the previous development, previously we have the tendency character, the rather than philosophy, the philosophical of the Heidegger chances to be hard to develop, and Heidegger didn't just look at the anti-Semitic present philosophical, the two failed to intermediate his thinking. Their view of being in the world locks and discriminatory politics, 2014. For Heidegger, anti-Semitism more than spread as world changes and gospel doesn't need it to be involved in what continues on further lots of those after he did these people just worry about that they be worthless and expression Heidegger's name animal. That's it. Colonialism is founded on dialectical violence for the purpose of self-assertion as Heidegger sustained through genocide, all reach to that selfish force and duty to maintain their sexual dominance among 13. Colonialism has many of its disposition declines of land and resources, masters of dialectic requires of reasoning for self-determination recognized by self-conscious ego. Existence of recognition must be mutual, yet it must be no recognized by the same, but has already conscious recognition at all, but I go recognition to reason is also for mutual freedom, it's not recognition that master wants for it, although the resources colonial progress will only use recognition, so far as recognition is not progress, for the primary colonial relationships are describing the indigenous customs resonates with the settler culture. The United States will conceive their same first by war and self-mention by genocide, the three founding principles that shape the settler status, legacy, dispossession, and erasure, and about 16. Settler colonialism is the same as the object system from savers is the premise on the devaluation of the political economy, say, liberalizing across time and space, and systematic social control over retained property connects to sharecropping mobile and massive business that goes of private property, and second, it genocide is the ongoing disappearance of indigenous people and the privatization of lands, and same the policy of racial practices such as removal of settlements, third is Orientalism, the Buddhist inferior, non-Western colonization of criminal warfare, in which cases the colonies need to protect the empire, founding of U.S. nationalism, settlers take characterized by British predicated on the quest for total security and characteristic, thinking militarism, and organizing principle within modern policing, war under close 9/11, so therefore both militarism linked to the pursuit of total security, domestic protection of the nation state, and settler practices central to security, settler state premise on over militarism, disposition, and erasure. The structure of the settler state erasure on terror and also motion of assimilation and elimination with use to justify settler sovereignty and authority expanding so soul and libidinal regime that proliferates ecological terror and genocidal violence. 422. Deforestation has many ecosystems and biodiversity losses of carbon sinks creating ecological crisis balance, and it will supervise the settler sovereignty, makes possible imperialism design, or for Western living in the level economy, ecological creatures found the creates political ontology, which functions as metaphysical property to him, or also within colonial institutions and irreparable planar ontological structure contingency. Words don't amount to withdrawal troops were continuing with the non-physical presence which seek to extend control of the global south and produce the upending cycle of dominance, which cements with success in 1922. After that, after where the U.S. Wing hospital, the U.S. first billions of dollars systems every night. And to decide top and roll weapons in the development, building medium mass losing more times, these would be economic purpose, asset leverage, or kind of regular logic that the U.S. has the right to inflict genocides as legitimate, consider alternative to war. Decolonization is not a metaphor, they retreat into politics of better theorization to move to innocence out of structural material reality, stronger than command Tony. The intellectual moves in the material for the decolonization, the challenges to ask us for how conceptualize mechanisms to change decolonization is not a metaphor, organisms in the material set of the local relations to be structural over settler colonialism will not be undone by analysis, but engagement with grounds of the bridge, people come together, the intelligible, who's in the material reality to solve the of the elements with your theoretical recharacterization connects the alignment and believe that individual rationality can only from material logic, the new stories of political relationships, naturalizing thinking, basis for action. The alternative to decolonization, 1963. Decolonization says that the change of order of the world, decolonization to mean things for example, but the very nature of the sunrise about your existence of the property, colonialism, colonizer frees themselves to think that sensitive with pleasures and the practice is ready for constant or reconcile as possible. Interpretation happens only when the most confusing consequences of the plan, one experience based on the competitive game reasons every argument is evaluated fairness, fairly all the ways you hack against the only self fairness keys that way since investors only be filtered through our ability self and to discuss the vertical keys to key the third and fourth level research that way since only in fact as well as the cultural reason about the fourth off. Interpretation of affirmative also growing offense of the hypothetical implementation of the hypothetical implementation of the plan result of requires legislative instrumentality in 5. Legislative instrument making declaration, seeking policy, and making decision data resolution in any case to resolve. The violation is prevented after choice of growing offense external to resolution most starting topic just make structure to example and building about to outprep, especially one area of literature for 4 years given a huge network of people switching topics every 2 months and loss is unpredictable. No says that all the criticisms that perpetrates claims that fairness structure and inaccessible but fairness is linear but research drive from minimization appreciative instance of unfairness regardless of social duty when they cancel the again this radius outside the round of case. Presumption and permissibility to go on obligation resolution against the affirmative obligation and permissibility and against the obligation to produce false statements or false and true because true one part of the statement false and true the entire statement first statement also is true they creates contradictions which justifies reason negating and sorry it one is after the first class future control direction of the people is affirmative strategy God when you're going to 76 times you can see when is it they get infinite prep and do when is it you can be when is it combating infinite prep infinite prep time 4 when is it affirmation theory affirming requires unconditionally maintaining an obligation affirms to maintain its jurisdiction the obligation substance the definitions are negative affirmation theory of the verb to prove even sufficient if it's relevant making it moving target and making it hard is the rule that I get at the framing. Nothing special. One is nothing spills over. No connection between the knowledge degree without teaching and perjury. One teams should take your argument. They're offensive. Reverse alteration of mindsets. No opinion when no warrant for about the competitive nature of debate course. Any ethical value advocating that happen. When you have to make sure they want to win the home of the top. These are words of total word salad, do not backflow. And they have any of these warranted understanding what they consider them new and do not deserve implications. They just seek to extend midway through the argument, the independent stuff. One point of phenomenology cops to natural because the process of introspection on conscious experience is going to conclude that natural state can determine intrinsic value and decide given its consequences are relevant because phenomenology requires interconnection of the conscious and consciousness report of the parts all with higher conscious experiences that we reason the world are the reasons are why most words are bad because the consequence of exporting Americanism they have no warrants for why most of it is intrinsically bad when its theory is incoherent we can't understand nature without separating ourselves from it. Lecture 9. What did I find as much in terms of what they are, what they do? It was something we can look into what it says human consciousness, what we can check nature was something that's human history and thought can be when state consciousness as outside that nature does separate that flows outside nature to exist within the human consciousness so existing from separate nature would cease to exist. A conditional presumption framed to abscess or the words multi-presence twice and no card mentioned the no they do not have a link between multi-presence exporting Americanism. They certainly do not have a solvency for highly solid exporting Americanism. Marxism, military and every other region are all causes independently over commitment prevents age. It's just the words down and other resources and incentivizes escalation covenant and Mark 23. Washington's person couldn't take the views and Obama amendments both causing and devastating for the region as contributed out of created nature gas also ran in the Pacific Ocean will be added to the interest areas of time will be less vulnerable to aggression and in many of the weird systems demand. Cut the card at demand.
Yeah. K.
Yeah.
Which one? What are the links?
Which one?
The secol K.
The secol K? Okay, so there's 2 links, or there's 3 links. First, implicated in ontology, sort of use of the state to make an action is bad. There's like a form link.
Wait, so is military presence bad?
Is military presence bad?
Yeah.
We would say the form of the act trying to withdraw military presence.
Yes or no question. Is military presence bad?
Is military presence bad?
Yes or no?
Okay, so it's a question of all solvency. We would say military presence can be resolved.
Yes or no question. I only need one word.
Okay, it's not as simple as yes or no question. Because even if militarism is like bad in
does
its
the
intrinsic
alternative
form,
does the alternative reduce military presence?
does the alternative reduce military presence? We would say it would end the traditional notions of AIR, which live in the colonial state, which are ontology, input, and bonds evidence says.
You're answering my question. Yes, you end IR. Do you reduce military presence? Yes or no?
The input and bonds evidence says militarism is co-constitutive of the settler state. We say absolving the settler state would reduce military presence.
Can you just answer my question, please? In context. Yes or no? Do you do
Okay,
it? So
we're explaining to the process.
You keep saying you reduce IR, you reduce militarism. Do you reduce military presence in the West Asian?
We don't directly fiat the reduction of military presence, but the reduction of militarism happens using the critique.
Okay, how do you reduce militarism absent the state?
How do you reduce militarism absent the state?
Yes. What do you mean? So militarism, i.e. example militarism, is us having military presence in all of the countries and having these interventions. How do we de-intervene and reduce our military presence absent the state?
Okay, again, the input and bonds evidence is pretty clear that notions of imperial IR and militarism in other nations
Yes,
is
you keep
co-constitutive.
saying militarism is colonialist. I'm asking you, how do you do that absent the state? How do you decrease military presence? How do you decrease interventions absent the state?
Okay, decolonization is not just an immediate end of the state, it's a shifting of transitions to indigenous peoples and indigenous authorities, which can bring the presence back.
It's
also, I can explain other links.
The conveying, it's fine, the links don't say anything as well. The conveying and worry card, how does this negate?
Okay, it's just giving an example. It's just like a post-fiat implication of how the plan could cause reintervention.
This just says that overcommitment prevents age of theater pivot. Where does it say that the logical mandate of the plan is that it moves it over to? And why does that prove that military presence is bad?
Okay, so it proves military presence, it proves that it recreates the act of tax because it causes entanglement wars, which causes increased militarism. The reason the presence is there to stop overcommitment. Overcommitment in the region prevents us from pivoting this force stage.
Okay, the action T, the violation definition is resolve requires a legislative instrument. The act does defend a legislative instrument. How do we violate?
So we say resolve requires a legislative instrument. We say that is the only thing intrinsic to the plan. Fiating a mindset shift is outside the resolutional bounds of the
Okay,
plan.
the fairness voters arguments.
Yeah.
Fairness is a linear impact. We should strive to minimize instances of unfairness regardless of structural skews. Where's the warrant? That's why fairness is good.
Why is the warrant, like, what's the warrant to why fairness is good?
Yeah.
So we, like, drop the debate implications would be on the disclosure shell, but we say fairness is
I'm asking why
but-
fairness is an impact. The argument that you, like, I'm asking you, can you give me an impact that says why fairness is a linear impact, which strives to minimize instances of unfairness regardless of structural disputes? Where's the warrants there?
Okay, it's embedded in the clash warrant and the, like, topic of adjustment warrant. It says that we can't
Clash is a
engage in
fairness
that.
impact?
Huh?
Clash is a fairness impact?
It's a fairness and education. But fairness would interlink into education, which is the argument.
Start. There are, I don't think there are any cards. I don't think there are any cards. Where's the app? Theory stuff, like a top level theory stuff, i.e. the paradigm issues, and then like an overview of theory, then extra T, then disclosure, then the Nazi K, and then the second K.
What was the page before extra T?
Oh, it's like an overview of theory.
Oh, okay, cool. There's only one overview to theory page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like the paradigm issues, and no, yeah.
Makes sense.
Alright, from the resolution, we return to orientation, glass lines being the world, the absence of production, presence, and total release from being, freaking, sometimes yourself in technology, being, reserved human resource, natural worlds, being, necessary, existence, by being, the international states, includes a recognition of being in the capacity, period of being, place, understanding, information, manifestation, community, as well as influence, psychological violence, alienation, authorship, the meaning, and the material impacts of climate change, capital, global conflict, are absolutely necessary, people who exit material solutions, the ontological structure world, overturn its individual state action. Now, the landline property, say no spillover, even with spillers, the app is a good idea, say no more for the ballot, yes, the app's a good idea, you vote for Ferdinand, vote for the better data, the word salary, yes, there is a war, we want to exist in pre-season society, the we're going to vote around, you say collapse, the natural, no, it doesn't matter, as far as you know, right, you say consequences, you go to be your consequences, we'll win our consequences that way, you say ledger evidence, you know, this guy's still playing about how we're divided from nature, but only if knowledge and you have solved, you say presumption, no, we advance to the above, fan evidence, no, it's not a mandate of the plan, and our actually keep ourselves, it means that we have this military presence. Now, the offense, the top level theory, as you can see, the yes, RBI is an offense counter-term, no term events, or the other term reciprocity, insurance, equal access theory, otherwise you can read multiple shells that are all nits and specification, is going to be meeting multiple privilege shells because you know the moving increasing features of the engagements, you say one logic, but we're not saying we should be free verification, but rather for external impacts, you say norming, no, we factor impacts of norm because it is good theory, we should be able to deal with the norm regardless. Now, all going for drop the argument, our app now defense resolution solves, drop the argument, solves all the abuse, he gets us back to the base, we don't have to make theory, which often your deterrence, or you see deterrence, one, no warrants, it's four words, two, not uniquely read arguments because we have the data surrounding, we don't we'll stop reading them, two, disproving the three, disproving people lose unable, the time they'll stop reading it, on time two, one, I spend time reading the argument, two, turn, you see your time worse until I suppose I overpress theory, or else I can auto lose. Now, T play, now I get to weigh the case, being if we can make it, actually, the overview flow, one, approaching the second seed, one, AC Johnson, every game is a new version of the game, it's going within confines of rules, then once we get inside, also in front of our meaning, false, character, two, authority, secretary, education rules, or the activity to judge absolute authority, determine ability students experience, and ideas to train students, lead teachers know best, skills, competence, and creativity will empower. Common institutions definitely is spiller. We can see the reason why education is inherently good, because determine the fact that fairness debate, and because the policy of education on the cycle, okay, proves that deadly sensitive activity, the fairness flow, weakest weight case, and feels in 6 and 80 offense, and both are formal arguments approach to debate. Now, top level is that value debate through fostering a central character existence is a precedes the essence of rules of activity, which means the only real necessity for a particular model of debate the topic K outweighs one existence as being inspired. Question fairness education of principles of debate, the fairness more say absolutely 0-1. The first part of the question is circular but for fairness matters, and we win education is term impact. Now, counterpation debaters can defend rotation that also for the topic 1 act like negative sort of perfect strategy, since pop sandbag 2 air, etc. Which is that actually solves includes resolutions like distributed basis for ground also position length along the branch out and zero prostate negative this one T counts the case can have handle topics of expertise unique to create a one-to-one burden and oh sorry shoot I lost my laptop shut down. Oh sorry it's back okay I'm so sorry. Okay. Is that okay? 3 uniqueness opportunities often expressed arguments that education has created students in reserve chain same means or arguments over the violence best and technical the world so we see drop when I see Feldman or message purely key because there are no things like us in the academy starting now disclosure 1 project disclosure number 5 students have to workshops burn prove the students real so there could mean 2 sides of judging judge only thing having some real anything else is arbitrary now confrontation I can see that when we make it if with your topic large I can see that with the if it's at the TOC social records so 30 minutes prep rather 3 months 1 response yeah prep what in waking so we prep represent cheap prep see that stuff for 1 year 2 years but negative take time prep for this 1 year after disclosed terms class is not question 30 minutes question 3 months and also it should be prepped. Nazi cable, we don't mean terms of Heidegger, seasonal length. They have those first interpretations about 2. Heidegger 2, Afghanistan, and descendants of inference view of not being capable of the extent of free to be Nazis are in control the world, bad airways, acceptance, form, and will be critique, unless they can inflict or specifically things bad, then they should hold the line because their heart is not to say the cycle card 1 from equal to wide, all things they disclose, so either they can overcome the lengths or it can overcome the whole structure of events from always 2 from the yes, mindset decade, so the case in past absent with intention helping natives. Now, proper 1 is that it's probably one these claims that you need to say only your mindset should enable these people are allowed to exist freely instructions, only your mindset can inherently solve things. 2, we turn your notion of ownership and idea, land as the idea that enemy can only control land, even if people logic also the impacts their current versus only have results cover cause. It means affairs we only need to say one colonization bad knowledge, advise interesting motivation, because they care about others because they help for also external character and existential projects. A state link, no, with essential proves there's no use of characteristics in the institution that transactions. Every new action relation to state creates and finds those states, which is a state links are incoherent because the progress possible. And I think what our opposite in terms of the reason we have no precedents to export with norms and brain 2 social institutions and the question is how we should structure them means that state by incoherent. 3 there's these links to scroll and the apple organizing meaningful change that has true action has root cause with unequals metaphor. We're not a metaphor, yes, there's mindset shit, but it's also material action. We say the prerequisite reaction on the alternative proper 1 term base of landfall base of the cells have you find lands call it since they have any yourselves also independent voter you link the news and framework we don't substitute breaker or all things that you're all these creates a colonized version of arguments that don't translate to your body and against your authors who say that's good and independent voter these proves resistance and if you can't produce no difference absent the state means that only state solutions are the only option to solve the act. To solve the case.
What was the answer to the state link? Like top down. I think I heard reform possible. What else?
1 social institutions are inevitable, which means it's a question of how we act in the face of them. 2 existentialism means you can drop existentialism because every character redefines the state. There's no sort of static conception of the state is. 3 on the alternative, the only way to weaken the state is via the state. Negative state action is good. The alternative cannot explain how we decrease militarism. We can say militarism is bad. That does not do anything. 4 only our sort of mindset shift and our idea of framing can solve the root cause of these problems, and then we have other thesis answers.
Okay, what are the answers to ontology, just besides the hijacks?
Let me pull it up. 1 is just uniqueness claim our mindset solves. 2, we turn your idea of ownership, idea that indigenous people own the land, that we can manage the land is exactly what recreates exactly what recreates colonization in the first place. We are not owning the land, we are fundamentally phenomenological and collected to the land in the first place. 3, only we can explain why colonization is bad, i.e. it frames indigenous people, and the fact that phenomenology provides interesting motivational to care for others. That was the McGregor evidence that we explained.
Okay, who are all the independent voters?
RBIs means that all the impact turns, and all the counter turn offense through things. What else? Yeah, basically it. stand up the two and say
Okay.
stands right there.
Yep. We're just like quickly extending a presumption norm, and then from the NC, and then kicking out the shells, and then the critique. Oh, and then I'll get to case at the end. Yeah, I'm not good.
1 sec, actually. Yeah, good.
Mason good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mason, but you can see that the deep point on negating Harding the one for presumption adjudicate the debate after 1 and C, key to combating infinite after times and saying it about your argument off. And neither 1 and C means taking reciprocal axis about because you can't compare the quality of the after the NC to shells. First, I'm going to say arguments about one. What is that? And then I can use 6 minutes to force the issue and put more than I can cover, which turns other flex arguments. Also, it's a logical issue and win for beat. You were fair. That was an argument, just a litmus test for engaging in the substances of a logical argument. Takes out all of your defense because even if it deters bad shells, there's no intrinsic reason why that would warrant you actually having arguments in the first place. Also, topic education, no argument means we get also so they say this turns bad shells turn RBIs and incentivize, or they say turn RBIs incentivize people to be abusive bait theory, and I've heard about the counterintuitive RBI. That was what we said. Also, to win essentially the chilling RBI out, the chilling argument outweighs solving being excessively marginal fairness skews only improves the bait, but allowing people to get away with a large amount of skewed views is terrible. Also, on C opponent is for shells back against this. These stories are easy to beat. People just are less likely to vote, and slight args also make them prove that the shells were frivolous in the first place, which we definitely were not. And then the critique. Don't let Mason's cognitive believe the winner is with technical concessions which will lose them the debate on the critique. First, trial ontology is a game over. Genocide is a process, not an event. The legitimization of the nation state status was placed into people in a position of ontological non-humanity. This logic is ingrained within the political economy where the settler is instilled within the logics of elimination, and only through genocide with the ontological lack be filled. For every issue conceded more, and when I say hard, a repetition of colonial practices, naturalized libidinal desires, which take up reform arguments, so they'll try to collapse into its barriers. Every governmental action revitalize the settler governments, make them explain how they can resolve 500 years of genocide. It also hijacks Heidegger, one is that only his psychoanalysis can explain drives and desires, which forms or subconscious motivations for direct action and all phenomenal actions which can be explained. That was in the words evidence, and it explicitly hijacks all their ontics and root cause claims to try to go for against Heidegger. It also means it controls the interlink that every way that the subject in the first place. Also, linguistics controls the interlink in determining how you can actually set routines under a phenomenal logical and also the link proper. The link is to the state. That was in the ontology debate about the absence of redemption of genocide institution. The idea that Heidegger and ethics can reform the colonizer is a delusion. Has been in place 400 years of land thefts and genocide. Land thefts and genocide. They just only responded to decolonization as a metaphor by saying, oh, it's definitely not a metaphor, but it's misunderstanding what the link says. We say that engaging in forms of ethics that abstract away by saying, oh, we can explain genocide to this abstract ethical process, and abstract ethical process which warrants abstract solutions, i.e. a mindset shift which will never actually happen in the real world. Is way sellers can wipe their hands clean and not actually take material action or account for actual genocide. There's said there is no land ownership. This is an additional link to the critique because it proves their form of theorization does not actually have material methods for how people can actually go off fight against the state, i.e. it justifies people sort of shifting in and out between different lands and living on indigenous lands, which is definitely bad. Also, they say only they can explain why colonization is bad. First of all, the ontology data above proves that we can explain like why genocide is bad through sort of intrinsic drives and desires. Also, this argument is definitely wrong. We can sort of use I don't need an ethical theory to tell me that genocide is bad. The fact that you have to sit down here and say that some abstract ethical theory can explain why genocide is bad is probably an additional link to the critique because it proves you're trying to abstract from certain ethical, you're trying to abstract into certain ethical frames to justify certain actions which can be colonialist. And so if I win that the action that is colonialist, it proves that they definitely do not condemn colonialism, which is a pretty intuitive argument. Also, social institutions are inevitable. This argument is ridiculous. Even if everyone redefines the state doesn't redefine its violence, and also winning, they all solves. They have not given really any examples of progress or how the specific inconsistencies of the state can resolve these impacts. So these were like conceded links, conceded ontology claim. I'm gonna go for the impact to be proper. The impact is permanent warfare. The war on drugs and post-9/11 interventions that have fueled the explosive growth of the U.S. military is linked to the pursuit of whole security, declining U.S. power, results in neo-fascist movements to restore the empire to its former glory, which meant a state of permanent warfare that was won in sea and when bonds was conceded. It completely turns case. Structural impacts outweigh contingent one. The avenue results one avenue for detachment. The TOC solves the conditions of the world which alienate, meaning both probability and magnitude flow negative. We can just reintervene in these areas because the logic of colonialism will continue militarism, even if we don't think through Heidegger. Even if Heidegger says, we condemn militarism, the fact that they justify institutions that are colonials and the fact that their abstraction of ethics is colonialism in the first place proves that it will just justify increased militarism if we believe that those things can help in an ethical sense to actually justify colonialism based on this claim that the relation to the world overturns all impacts, i.e. they can just feel a mindset shift which just solves everything. First of all, this should fundamentally be rejected because it's a form of abstraction which will never happen in the actual world, i.e. indigenous people will never actually have all settlers change their mind and say, colonization is bad, we're going to do tips to rectify that. It will never actually happen, and saying that it will is a form of cruel optimism, which all the work done in ontology proves is bad. Now the alternative proper is decolonization. It's a general fact that includes a settler colonial order, does not necessitate throwing everyone off the land, rather a transfer of ownership to land of indigenous governments. They say we can't get rid of stuff absent the state. This is definitely wrong, and this is definitely wrong. The fact that there has been indigenous right moves all around the world that have existed outside the state, and the fact that there has been indigenous organizing outside of the state bans prove colonization is not just a metaphor. Also, they say this is just like turning decolonization into a metaphor. No, we are endorsing the material action of decolonization. It's definitely not making it into a metaphor, and it's definitely like way better than like all the stuff that AF does. The case page. Oh, actually, going back to. Okay. Remember again, going back to ontology, our conceded ontology claim means any world is better than a colonial world. If I win the link debate proper, then it proves that even if Heidegger could condemn colonization, if I prove that the action of the AF is colonial, so negate, we have proved that their investment into the state will always reify colonization, will always reify sort of colonial boundaries, and even if like Mason's going to stand up into where I say we condemn colonialism, we feel a mindset shift that solves all the impacts of the critique. Remember, this is a form of abstraction which does not allow for the actual solving of impacts of the critique, and they're just like relinking the critique by like legitimizing the state and legitimizing sort of a utopian argument for why settlers can just resolve their guilt and say, colonization doesn't exist in our magical fantasy land. This argument just does not make sense.
I have 3:13 left, right? Start now. It's gonna cross out from the theory overview stuff, like where you flow the theory overview. Vote F for return to orientation last time being the role of the acts, not introduction of presence, or the total reason for being with three concepts ourselves from a technological state of observed human resource, natural world, being necessary, existing, right, meaning, being international standards, recognition, being with the capacity, creator, being placed in our state of information, interconnected nature, community, self, infinite psychological buzz, being a nation on the stream of meaning, and material effects of climate change, capitalism, cold conflict, and colonization, consider access to negative prerequisites and material solutions, the zombie structure of the world overturns integral state action, means that things like decolonization are absent or incoherent, absent alternatives, alternative is a absent or affirmative, absent message means affirmative mindset to necessary prerequisites, the alternative perfectly justifies permanently both. Now, the value of humanity stuff. One, you have not one reason why fairness actually matters. You can see that the way the fairness is not voted, the education is only voted, because infinite freedom of prep does not matter because there was no war. Two, that you can see the value of it through false accept the character. Existence of behaviors precedes essence of roles and activity, which means there's no intrinsic necessity for particular models of debate, and you can see that way since our existence of beings the prior question, fairness, education, and source of debate. You can see that authority is an integration of rules, i.e. value of when it's entirely valid to the activity grants that judges, that's like authority, determinability, students, experience, and ideas, which trains students to believe teachers know best, choice, and confidence, and creativity, all power, problematic solutions. He's always this way. You should reason why you reject theories, you reject the position, nor to evaluate this, you should definitely be washed. Also, the warrants once he was not a complete warrant, she should have to flow it, if she's not granted by the only argument saying, quote, combats in after time, but you can see it from affect that that's incoherent because you don't see it in the prep time, but rather than affirming it's handling harder because you have to think like 6 3 collapse and to say 6 3 collapse 7 4 times 2 because it does not matter because the development of this should not be washed. Theory does not matter. Again, not just my theory actually matters. K proper. Oopsies, you have dropped the permutation, you've gone for an alternative, you should game over conceded perms, you go double by all the ways exist in this growth, so either the alternative can overcome the tie links or it can overcome the whole structure of events, conceded the perm outweighs the solid material harm retraction and framing, you have not just the reason that the perm deficit perm, you should be game over issue 2, drop perm to the absolute, the mindset decay, solve the case of the past gap, absent attention to helping natives, and then understand that state is bad while materially improving the lives of natives, solve any sort of link protection or state protection. If it's true that the alternative is able to do it, that means their mindset should inherently be done, it should inherently be done and done. Now, we're going to go to the real problem. Our alternative, there definitely is no link in this play. Our mindset should resolve it. Arguments that colonization is bad. The idea that the colonization is formed in framing indigenous people, I that's the Robinson Eccles way, AC one Robinson way, AC emphasis and inframes indigenous people to non-being, which results in disposal and enslavement, allows colonization to happen in the first place. You also see the impact turn to your notion of idea and loss of repudiation. You can see the return to notion of ownership and idea of land and separate. The idea that anyone can own land and control land, even indigenous people, is a logic that allows for all your effects to occur in the first place. So only the after results of root cause, it means alternative fails, and definitely justifies the permanent both. It just means that only our alternatives are definitely means exclusive. Now the links are an athlete makes no sense. Only arguments from mindset shift is saying that it's a form of wishing it away and doesn't do anything, but you can see that it's a prerequisite of material actions. Material actions cannot do anything absent our mindset shift because they will always fail because they're incongruent in a wrong sort of conception of good, because it's only our mindset shift can. Now, for the proper sort of way, the state bad arguments is inherently bad. If you see the next state action good, if the US having more colonial power is bad, then using the state destroys itself is inherently good. Your arguments just links to status quo only after organizing meaningful changes in material action and resolves the root cause. I reduction notes present. There's definition colonialism, which you can see it from what you see. You say a lot for moving around, but you have not given a reason that's why putting us as white colonizing US agents is inherently good under your model frame. You also see the alternative fails because the alternative cannot do really militarism. You say that indigenous movements, there's no reason how indigenous movements can reduce state troops from other countries. Only the USA can do it because any risk of state links do it. The permutation was dropped. It's not you link, you lose because you alternative has a job date. It's an alternative. It's not just that you link, you lose. Anywhere in the way you see, it's not quite ontology. And alternative is ontology. Proof one hand solves it. And the permutation. But yeah. Good.